it's Reagan, and today I thought it would be a good time to film my favorite contemporary reads, as it is like the midst of summer. Now, some of you might be surprised that I'm making this video because contemporary is definitely not the genre that I generally gravitate to the most. However, that doesn't mean I haven't read some contemporary novels that I have really loved and that I would love to share with you. So I'm going to start with the obvious ones, or at least the ones I think are obvious, the ones I've mentioned a lot of times on my channel. The first one being The Storied Life of AJ Ficker II by Gabrielle Zevin. This is a wonderful, heartwarming adult contemporary novel following a man who's kind of down on life and who owns kind of a failing bookstore. But his life kind of gets turned upside down when he discovers a gift, a thing that has been left for him within his bookstore, and it is just so good. This book is really small, but it packs a really big punch in such a short amount of time. It provides all the emotional things you are looking for within a contemporary. It's light, it's funny, it has its darker moments, it's all about redemption and family, and it's absolutely beautiful, and I loved it. It's also very funny. My next favorite contemporary is one I've really talked like almost too much about, so I will be really brief about it, and it is Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin O'Leary Signs. I couldn't make this video and not mention this book, essentially, so here I am mentioning it. This is a beautiful book about a boy friendship and about growing up and family and self-identity, and it's set in El Paso, Texas. If you haven't read it, please do yourself a favor, read it. I think it's just a really lovely read. I really enjoyed this one. Next, we kind of have a nice beach read for you, and that is The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy by Jenny Han. This is a young adult contemporary trilogy following a young girl, Belly, as she grows up basically from the age of 14 to 22, and it's basically following her in different summers of her lives, and it kind of surrounds a beach house, and it kind of surrounds her life at the beach, at this beach house, and these two boys named Jeremiah and Conrad who are brothers. This is definitely like kind of a great traditional summer contemporary. It is light at some moments, but it does have its heavier times as well, and I really love the family aspect of this book. Jenny Han always has a really great family thing in her books, which is why I love them so much and why I love reading her books so much. But yeah, if you haven't read this trilogy, I really recommend it. It's good. Next, we have a book that I consider to be Markus Zusak's lesser known work, and that is I Am the Messenger by Markus Zusak. This is a contemporary novel following a young man who's kind of lost and kind of drifting through life, not really sure what he wants to do, but at the moment he's a cab driver, but he's just sort of kind of in love with his best friend but not really wanting to say anything, just kind of drifting right now. But then one day he finds a playing card in his mailbox with instructions, and those playing cards lead him on a journey that kind of changes his life and perspective for different. I'm not gonna say for better or for worse, but it is an amazing story. It's really funny, but also has a great emotional element in it that I believe Markus Zusak just does so well. So if you haven't heard of this or picked it up, read it. I decided to only put one Rainbow Rowell book in this video because I already feel like everyone knows Rainbow Rowell, and I decided to not pick Fangirl, even though I love Fangirl, but I feel like everyone already knows about that book. So instead I picked Attachments by Rainbow Rowell, which is actually the first book of hers I've ever read. And this is an adult contemporary novel, and it kind of follows our main perspective of this guy named Lincoln, and he works for the IT department for a company, which is basically in the early 2000s he reads and monitors emails between employees and basically flags them for inappropriate behavior to kind of keep everyone in the office responsible and stuff like that. However, he starts reading this conversation between two females, and he is like drawn to them in a way. Like, he loves reading their conversations, so he knows he should flag them, but he doesn't, and then slowly he realizes he's falling in love with one of them. I found this book to be hilarious and really relatable and heartwarming, and I really liked the perspective of a male character from Rainbow, because a lot of her books are from a female perspective. All the other ones, I believe, are mostly from a female perspective. So if you want something a little different, I definitely would check this out. It's super funny and so cute. Next, we have another pretty famous one, and that is It's Kind of a Funny Story by Ned Fazzini. This is a wonderfully tragic book. If you're not aware, Ned Fazzini actually committed suicide not too long ago, and this book actually deals with the topic of suicide. It follows a young male character who is in a very prestigious high school that gives him a lot of stress, and because of the stress he's kind of fall into a very deep depression. He can't eat, he can't sleep, and then one night he tries to kill himself, and this puts him inside of a mental hospital to recover. The great strength that I feel like this book has, I feel like, one, it deals with mental illness very, very well, as Ned Vizzini has struggled with that in his life, but it's also hilarious. All of the characters are really, really, really likable or interesting, and I just feel like it offers that great perspective of life can be really hard, but there's ups and downs to every aspect of life, and because of that, some things are going to be funny. Even when they're not supposed to be funny, like, they're going to be funny because you're trying to make the best of it. Anyway, I just think this is a really, really great story. If you haven't picked it up or checked it out, do so. And the next book I'm going to talk about is Where Things Come Back by John Corley Whaley. This is a very interesting story that I feel like is best without knowing what it's about at all, because that's how I read it. It's really great. It's a really weird story, and I literally can't tell you anything, but there's basically one sentence on the back that I think is great. It says, "In a remarkable, bizarre, and heart-rendering summer, before Colin Wooder's senior year of high school, everything he thinks he understands about a small and painfully dull Arkansas's town vanishes." Which is kind of the best way to describe it. It's just about a guy who lives in a town and stuff happens. And it's very interesting and it's super well written, very short. Read it. And the last contemporary recommendation I have for you is another really popular one, and it's another kind of cutesy read, and it is To All the Boys I Loved Before Duology by Jenny Han. If you haven't noticed, I clearly really like Jenny Han's contemporary writing. Why, yes, that is true. And it's because she offers so many fantastic love triangles or just really cute relationships, but she also has a really strong element of family threaded through all of the books I've read of hers. I just love all of the families in them. They're all very unique and caring and loving, and I just like reading a contemporary book with a great family bond as well. I don't know. I like family. I like my family. I like to read about other families. But yeah, these are adorable. I'm sure you all know what they're about, but if you haven't read them, get them. They're so cute, and they're literally perfect for the summertime. Alrighty guys, those are some of my favorite contemporary reads that I have read in the past couple of years. Let me know down below some of your favorite contemporary books, because I know I need to read more because I haven't read that many. And I know I'll Give You the Sun should be on this list, but I haven't read it yet. Anyway, I'll see you guys soon with another video soon. Goodbye!